Hey, good afternoon, YouTube viewers. This is Big Bill, live from Catastrophe Railroad, aka South Brooklyn Railroad. Well, I completed the project, the First Timers Bar from Downtown Deco, hydrocal casting, plastic casting, and I got to tell you, it came out really good. It came out really good. In yesterday's video, I showed you how I glued it together with the epoxy. And I put it together, and then I lightly sprayed it with the primer, the white primer, and let that set up, and then I applied the wash to it, the paint wash. Basically all it is using folk art and terracotta and root burnt sienna, and what was the other one I used? Oh yes, and raw sienna, and just mix the water base and just put it on with a 2-inch brush and just slathered it on, and it really took well to the hydrocal. It didn't soak it up, and it allowed me to play with it and allowed me to work with it and to get it basically all put in. The signs, paper signs where I put on, I cut them out, and then what I did was I put a liberal amount of white glue, Elmer's glue, on the back, and then I placed them on the structure right here, as you can see, and then I took a plastic bag and then I burnished them right on to get that brick look, and then I highlighted it with a little powder, so it made the brick like it's been aged, so it came out pretty good. And the same thing with the sign, the Blatz beer sign, as you can see. If you can see it, let me see if I can bring it up to you. Yeah, the Blatz beer sign was basically cut out on a piece of styrene, and then I drilled a hole in here, and I inserted the wire, and I glued that on. And same way with all the signs. And then I added some detail, a roof stack, and then a vent, and then I put this ladder on there. But all in all, it came out pretty good. The door, what I did was I left the door black. I didn't cut the door out. And then I cut a piece of brown paper bag out, and I used that for the shade. And then I put a piece of advertisement up there behind that. And also the same thing for the top of the bar. It calls for a light, but I'm not going to do that, simply based on the fact that I don't really want to do that. But on the whole, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the, ultimate, I would give this an 8. In ease of doing this, I would definitely give this an 8. And it was a 2-day project, and I would tell you guys that if you haven't done hydrocal plastic castings, I would suggest to do this one. It's real easy, real simple, and it's not that hard, man. It really isn't. If a rocket scientist like me can do this, imagine what you guys could do. And this is an elementary, this is an elementary level. This is an entry level. I'm not that proficient in model building. This is just me applying what I know and what I've seen, and and how I read the instructions. And I happened to talk to the owner, Randy, today on the phone, and very nice gentleman, and basically explained to me how this worked, and he stands by his word. If it breaks, whether it's your fault or it comes that way, he will replace it free of charge, because he wants to get the modeler out there. He wants to get his product out there. It makes sense, nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong with that. But on a whole, it's a very, very good model. And like I said, I didn't saturate it with the primer. I lightly stood a couple of feet away, lightly primed it, and then when I applied the wash of the paint, it went in very well. And whatever, if I got a little too heavy, I just wiped it away with the damp rag and then started over again. Whereas if it wasn't primed and it went right on there, it would soak it right up, and it would be like, it would stain it. It would be a stain within there, and you wouldn't be able to get it or play with it. So on the whole, I'm very happy with it, and I encourage everyone and anyone to do this. It came out really well. Once again, like I said, the signs were paper signs, and you just cut them out and just put a lot of liberal glue on the back, and like I said, then you just wrap this around it, and you burnish it in. This is so you don't rip the paper because it's wet with glue, and it seems to do the job. I'd like to tell you that I thought of that myself, but I didn't. It was part of the instructions that Randy put in there, and on the whole, I think it's a very good first time intro into Hydrocal, and I would look into doing the other, Hydrocal buildings that he has. So with that said, any questions, any comments, positive, any critical, negative is welcomed as well. That's how you learn, constructive criticism. But on the whole, I like the way this came out. So 2 thumbs up from me. Absolutely. And I'm sorry I didn't do the weathering on camera, but to be honest with you, I got real excited about getting it done, and I just wanted to do it to see what it looked like. So I got a little carried away. So I do apologize for that, but just wanted to show you what the end product was. Not bad for a kid born in this country, huh? All right, well, that's it from me and from the Catastrophe Railroad and a.k.a. South Brooklyn Railroad. I hope you enjoyed this 2-part series. Look for my other videos. If you know anybody who wants to subscribe, I'm plugging this, shamelessly plugging it. And I want to thank all those that have subscribed to my channel. I do appreciate it. I really do. It means a lot. It means a lot. It really does. And I thank you for taking the time to watching these videos and to critiquing them and just having you following me. That's really great. And know that when you subscribe to me that I go back and look for you and I subscribe to you. So it's a mutual thing. But again, thank you so very, very much. Okay? All right, that's it from me. Over and out. 10-4. Have a good day.